Melania Trump storms off at Grand Prix as Natalie Harp's scandal grows worse. That's the headline, that's the story, that's the whisper in the halls. Let me take you back a little further before the cameras start to roll. It's the summer 2026. The White House lights are low. The First Lady disappearing. Where she went, nobody knows. 40 days is all they counted. 40 days out of the year. While the cameras kept on catching, someone else was always near. Natalie was in the background. Natalie was by his side. 18 days that month together. Some folks couldn't help but cry. Michael Wolff was writing chapters, whispers turning into ink. Every headline had a question mark. Every headline made you think. So when Melania came walking back out on that rosy garden lawn, hand in hand there with her husband, like the distance had never gone. And she looked into the cameras, gave the room a knowing grin. I heard you miss me, here I am. And the story starts again. Melania Trump storms off at Grand Prix as Natalie Harp's scandal grows worse. That's the story that they're telling. That's the version, that's the verse. But the tape don't show an argument. The tape just shows a walk. Sometimes the space between two people says more than any talk. Melania Trump storms off at Grand Prix as Natalie Harp's scandal grows worse. Every headline needs a heartbreak. Every headline needs a curse. Sunday came, the engines roaring, Freedom 250 on the track. Melania in the motorcade, sitting right there at his back, posing for the pictures, smiling for the crowd. Natalie was talking with his son, laughing kinda loud. Then the moment that got circled, then the moment that got shared, Trump reached over, touched her leg, and Melania wasn't there. She was up and she was walking, no one heard a single word, but the internet decided that a fight was what occurred. Now I'm not the one to swear on what I didn't see with my own eyes. I just know a camera's honest, but a caption tells you lies. 40 public days a year for a woman married 30. Maybe that's a marriage story, maybe that's just being busy. Maybe it's a power struggle, maybe it's an aide too close. Maybe every First Lady's silence gets a headline she never chose. Back in 2024, the book had already told Natalie's devotion to the president. The story getting old, compared him once to George Bailey. A wonderful life she'd been rising up since 2020, never far away. So when the questions started swirling, when the camera zoomed on in, it wasn't the first suspicion, it was a story that's always been. And Melania, she's not silent, she's not someone lost her voice. Here I am, she told the reporters, standing firm by her own choice. Melania Trump storms off at Grand Prix as Natalie Harp's scandal grows worse. That's the story that they're telling. That's the version, that's the verse. But the tape don't show an argument. The tape just shows a walk. Sometimes the space between two people says more than any talk. Melania Trump storms off at Grand Prix as Natalie Harp's scandal grows worse. Every headline needs a heartbreak. Every headline needs a curse. Go back further, way before the racetrack and the noise. A model in the builder back in 1998. Nobody thought that story would become affairs of state. Married in 2005, a son not long behind. Then a campaign trail arrived, and everything got loud. And a private kind of woman got swallowed by the crowd. So when they say she's distant, so when they say she's gone, maybe it's the life she signed for. Maybe it's just moving on. A First Lady's not required to smile in every frame, but the cameras need a story, and the story needs a name. And Natalie Harp got given one, whether right or whether blame. And assistant with the fast rise, cable news, the right-hand aide. It's not a crime to work for someone, not a debt that has to be paid. closeness makes a sound. So is it love? Is it distance? Is it 30 years grown cold? Is it just an aide who's loyal, or a story getting old? We don't know the truth behind it. We just know what got recorded. A hand, a leg, a walk away, a marriage that got sordid. Into headlines, into rumors, into whispers down the hall. Melania Trump storms off at Grand Prix. And let's talk about the timeline. Let's lay it out in full. July 19th was the last time, then a month of radio silence. FIFA event, a handshake, cameras flashing for a minute. And she vanished from the schedule, and the guessing games began it. Reporters started counting days like keeping score. 38, then 39, 40 knocking at the door. Meanwhile, Harp was in the Oval. Harp was on the South Lawn floor, carrying a red bag with her, closer than she'd been before. Security clearance still pending, more than a year on the job. Someone stepped in for approval, quietly, not a mob. That's a fact and not a rumor. That's a record, that's a file. While the marriage speculation kept the internet in denial. Some folks said it's just a jive. Some folks said it's something more. Every side had their opinion. Every side picked up a score. But nobody in that building ever spoke it on the record. So the public built the story from a distance, unprotected. Then came Thursday afternoon, the Rose Garden bathed in light. Melania stepped back to cameras, dressed in confidence, not spite. Fostering the future, growing children's programs on her mind. She wasn't there to answer questions, she was there to leave it behind. Melania Trump storms off at Grand Prix as Natalie Harp's scandal grows worse. That's the story that they're telling. That's the version, that's the verse. But the tape don't show an argument. The tape just shows a walk. Sometimes the space between two people says more than any talk. Melania Trump storms off at Grand Prix as Natalie Harp's scandal grows worse. Every headline needs a heartbreak. Every headline needs a curse. Sunday morning and just waving flags out on the White House lawn. A race car painted red, white, and blue before the crowd was drawn. Look at this incredible race car, gorgeous and powerful, she said. Then the motorcade was moving, and the questions filled her head. She sat there for the pictures, she sat there for the ride. Whatever's really happening, she still showed up by his side. That's the part that gets forgotten when a headline wants a fight. She was there, she chose to go there. That's a fact, that's black and white. So before you write the caption, before you make the claim, remember every marriage carries weight you cannot name. 30 years of cameras watching, 30 years of being seen. Nobody knows a household story from a 30-second scene. We just get the moments, we just get the frame that's shown. The rest of it belongs to them, the rest of it's unknown. Years before the day before the whispers turned to noise, there was campaign trail devotion, there were rallies, there was toys. A woman built her own foundation, business long before the ring. Model turned to businesswoman, turned to something bigger thing. So don't reduce her to a headline, don't reduce her to a walk. She's been building things in silence while the internet just talks. So maybe it's a headline, maybe it's a marriage warrant. Maybe it's just cameras catching moments getting torn out of context, out of order, turned to something they weren't born. We just watch it from the outside, we just watch the story form. Melania Trump storms off at Grand Prix 'Cause Natalie Harp scandal grows worse. That's the title, that's the headline, that's the version, not the verse.